Don't panic. I need you to breathe deeply right now, because what I'm about to share with you in the next few minutes is going to completely transform the way money flows into your life. You are about to become financially prosperous, not eventually, not someday, starting right now. I know the economy feels unstable. I know you might be checking your bank account every day with anxiety. I know you might be working harder than ever and still struggling to pay your bills. But here's what you need to understand. The lack of money in your life is not an economic problem. It's a spiritual frequency problem, and I'm going to show you exactly how to fix it. This is not theory. This is ancient wisdom that my people have preserved for over 3,000 years. Wisdom that has kept Jewish communities prosperous through exiles, persecutions, economic collapses, and world wars. And today I'm going to teach you the exact spiritual protocol that turns financial struggle into abundance. If this channel is already helping you grow spiritually and financially, do me a favor right now. Click that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because what you're about to learn is just the beginning. I share these powerful teachings every single week, and you don't want to miss a single one. Now let me tell you something essential before we go any further. The reason 94% of people wake up every morning and immediately program themselves for poverty is because they don't understand the first spiritual law of prosperity. Your first thought of the day creates your financial frequency for the next 16 hours. Let me explain this clearly. When you wake up and your first thought is about your debt, about the bills you can't pay, about the money you don't have, you are literally establishing an energetic pattern of scarcity. You are tuning your mind to the frequency of lack, and the universe responds to frequency, not to your effort, not to how many hours you work, to frequency. This is why you see people working 14 hours a day and barely surviving, while others work half that time and money flows to them effortlessly. It's not luck, it's not privilege, it's frequency. In Hebrew, we have a word, kavanah. It means focused intention, concentrated direction. Every morning, observant Jews recite a specific prayer before they even get out of bed, not after they check their phone, not after they go to the bathroom, before their feet touch the ground. Why? Because that first moment of consciousness is when your spiritual operating system gets programmed for the entire day. The prayer is simple. It's a declaration of gratitude. But here's what most people don't understand about gratitude. It's not just being thankful for what you have. Real gratitude, the kind that shifts frequency, is being grateful for what is already on its way to you. You thank the Creator, not just for your current blessings, but for the prosperity that is already moving toward you at this very moment. Let me translate this into something practical you can do starting tomorrow morning. The instant you open your eyes, before you think about your problems, before you check your messages, you speak these words out loud. I give thanks because abundance is flowing to me now. I give thanks because I am a magnet for financial blessings. I give thanks because opportunities are seeking me out today. Do you hear the difference? You're not saying, I hope. You're not saying, maybe. You're declaring what is already in motion. This is kavanah. This is how you tune your frequency to prosperity instead of poverty. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Rabbi, I am literally broke right now. How can I be grateful for money I don't have yet? And this is exactly the programming that keeps you broke. Listen carefully. Poverty is not a lack of money. Poverty is a lack of alignment with the spiritual laws that govern money. You have been operating under a false belief system that says, when I have money, then I'll be grateful. When my situation changes, then I'll feel abundant. But the spiritual law works in reverse. Gratitude first, frequency shift first, then the money comes. Let me tell you about my great-uncle Moshe. He arrived in Rio de Janeiro in 1947 with absolutely nothing. He had survived the camps in Europe. His entire family was gone. He had no money, no connections, no Portuguese. He slept in a synagogue basement for 6 months. But every single morning before his feet touched the floor, he recited the prayer of gratitude. Every morning, he thanked God for the business he was going to build, for the family he was going to create, for the prosperity that was coming. People thought he was crazy, a homeless refugee being grateful for wealth he didn't have. Within 2 years, he owned a small shoe repair shop. Within 5 years, he had 3 locations. Within 10 years, he was manufacturing shoes and employing 42 people. When he died in 2003, his business was worth millions of reais. Did he work hard? Absolutely. But thousands of people work hard and stay poor. The difference was not the effort. The difference was the frequency he established every single morning before his day began. This is the first principle I want you to understand. Your financial reality is not created by your circumstances. It's created by the energetic frequency you operate from. And that frequency is set by your first conscious thought of the day. But here's where 97% of people make a catastrophic mistake. They confuse positive thinking with spiritual alignment. They say affirmations they don't believe. They visualize wealth while their internal frequency is still broadcasting poverty. Let me give you the second principle. In Hebrew, we call it emunah. It means faith, but not the kind of faith most people think of, not blind hope. Emunah is certainty based on understanding. Spiritual law: when you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You have emunah. You know that if you water it, if you give it sunlight, the natural law of growth will produce a plant. You don't hope for it. You know it. The same law applies to prosperity. When you align your frequency through gratitude, when you speak words of abundance instead of scarcity, when you take action with the right intention, the spiritual law of attraction brings money to you as naturally as soil brings forth a plant. Not because you wished for it, because you operated according to law. Now, most people sabotage their own prosperity through their words. Let me tell you the 3 phrases that block money from flowing into your life. If you say these phrases, you are literally repelling financial blessings. First phrase, I'm broke. Second phrase, I can't afford it. Third phrase, money is so hard to get. Every time you speak these words, you are programming your subconscious mind for poverty. You are sending a frequency into the universe that says, I identify as a person without money. That is who I am. And the universe always matches your identity. I had a woman contact me 2 years ago. Her name was Juliana. She was a hairstylist in Belo Horizonte. She was working 60 hours a week and taking home less than 2,000 reais a month. She had debts of 14,000 reais, credit cards, rent she couldn't pay, money she owed her sister. The first thing I told her was, stop saying you're broke. She looked at me like I was insane. She said, but Rabbi, I am broke. That's not a phrase, that's a fact. And I said, no, that's a frequency. And as long as you broadcast that frequency, you will stay broke. I taught her to change her language. Instead of I'm broke, she started saying, I'm in the process of building wealth. Instead of I can't afford it, she started saying, I choose to invest my money differently right now. Instead, though money is hard to get, she started saying, money flows to me from multiple sources. She thought I was giving her motivational nonsense, but she was desperate enough to try. Within 3 weeks, 2 of her regular clients referred 5 new people to her. Within 2 months, she raised her prices and nobody complained. Within 6 months, her monthly income had increased to 4,800 reais, and she had paid off 6,000 of her debt. She called me crying. She said, Rabbi, I didn't change anything about my skill. I didn't work more hours. I just changed the way I talked about money, and suddenly money started appearing. I told her, you changed your frequency. The universe responded. This is not magic. This is spiritual law. Your words create your reality, because your words shape your beliefs, and your beliefs determine what you attract. Now, let me teach you something that can transform your financial situation in the next 48 hours. Tonight, before you go to sleep, I want you to do this exercise. Get a piece of paper. Write down 10 specific ways you create value for other people. Not what you want to do, what you already do. How do you help people? What problems do you solve? What service do you provide? What knowledge do you have that others need? Most people are poor because they focus on what they want to get instead of what they have to give. But prosperity is always a result of value creation. When you clearly identify the value you create, opportunities to monetize that value start appearing. Write those 10 things down tonight. Keep that paper with you tomorrow and watch what happens. Now I'm going to teach you the third principle. This one is so powerful that when you understand it, you'll never look at work the same way again. In Hebrew, we have a word, hishtadlut. It means effort aligned with divine will. It's the understanding that God provides the blessing, but you must create the vessel to receive it. Most people make one of 2 mistakes. Either they work constantly without any spiritual alignment, burning themselves out for minimal results, or they pray and visualize but take no action, waiting for money to magically appear in their bank account. Both approaches fail. Hishtadlut is the middle path. You work, but your work is infused with spiritual intention. You take action, but that action is directed by wisdom, not just by desperation. Let me tell you about a man named Paulo. He lived in Recife. He was a delivery driver. 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. He was making around 3,000 reais a month. His back hurt constantly. His wife barely saw him. His children called him the tired man because every time he came home, he collapsed on the couch. He was working himself to death, and he was still struggling financially. One day, his wife's cousin, who is Jewish, came to visit. They were talking about money, and Paulo said what most people say, "I just need to work harder. I need to get more deliveries." And the cousin said something that stopped Paulo cold. He said, "You're not working hard, you're working without kavana, without intention. You're a machine, not a human being creating value." Paulo didn't understand, so the cousin explained. He said, "Before you start your delivery route every morning, do you thank God for the opportunity to work? Do you bless the packages you're delivering? Do you ask for divine guidance on the most efficient route? Do you pray for the safety of everyone on the road? Or do you just turn on the ignition and start driving like a robot?" Paulo admitted he never thought about any of that. Work was just work. Suffering you had to endure to survive. The cousin taught him a simple practice. Every morning before starting the first delivery, Paulo would place his hand on the steering wheel and say, "Creator of the universe, I dedicate this work to you. Guide my hands, protect my path. Let every delivery I make today be a blessing to someone, and open doors of prosperity that I cannot see yet." 30 seconds, that's all it took. Paulo thought it was ridiculous, but he was exhausted enough to try anything. Within 1 week, something strange started happening. Customers started giving him tips. Not every customer, but more than usual. Small amounts, 5 reais here, 10 reais there. Within 2 weeks, one of his regular business clients asked if he would be willing to do dedicated deliveries just for their company for a higher rate. Within 1 month, he had 3 businesses requesting his exclusive service. 6 months later, Paulo was making 5,200 reais a month, working 5 days a week instead of 7, and he had enough energy to actually play with his children when he got home. What changed? Not his skill at driving, not the economy, not luck. He changed his frequency. He transformed mindless labor into intentional service. He invited divine partnership into his work. This is Hishtadlut. This is effort, aligned with spiritual law. And here's what I need you to understand. God does not bless laziness, but God also does not bless exhaustion that comes from working without purpose, without gratitude, without awareness of the sacred nature of all labor. When you work with kavana, with focused intention, with gratitude for the opportunity to create value, your work becomes a magnet for blessings. Opportunities appear that you never advertised for. People start recommending you without you asking. Money flows from unexpected sources. Now let me teach you the 4th principle, and this one is critical. In Jewish mysticism, we have a concept called ayin hara. In English, you would call it the evil eye. It's the understanding that envy and jealousy create a destructive energetic force that can block your prosperity. When you achieve success, and you display it arrogantly, when you boast about your wealth, when you make others feel inferior because of what you have, you attract ayin hara. You attract resentment, and that resentment has spiritual power to disrupt your blessings. I knew a businessman in São Paulo. His name was Ricardo. In 2018, his company was doing extremely well. He was making over 40,000 reais a month, and he made sure everyone knew it. Expensive car, designer clothes, constantly posting photos of luxury restaurants, private parties, international trips. One of his old friends from his neighborhood, someone who was still struggling financially, started making bitter comments. "Look at Ricardo, he forgot where he came from. Money changed him. He thinks he's better than everyone now." Ricardo laughed it off. He thought his friend was just jealous and that jealousy didn't matter. But within 8 months, Ricardo's business started having problems. Clients cancelled contracts for no clear reason. A partnership fell apart. Unexpected expenses appeared. By 2020, his income had dropped to less than half what it was. By 2021, he had to close the business completely. Was it just bad luck, bad decisions, or did he violate a spiritual law? In Jewish tradition, We protect ourselves from ayin hara through humility. When something good happens, we don't announce it to the world. We say Baruch Hashem, blessed is God, and we keep moving. We enjoy our blessings privately. We help others quietly. We share our prosperity through charity, not through display. If this message is resonating with you, if you're learning something valuable here, I need you to do two things right now. First, leave a comment below telling me your name, just your first name, because I pray over every name in the comments. I ask God to bless your finances, to open doors of opportunity for you, to guide you toward prosperity. I do this every week for this community. Let me pray for you. Second, if this channel is genuinely helping you understand spiritual laws you never knew before, if you're getting real value here, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, because I'm going to keep teaching you these ancient secrets every single week, and you deserve to have this wisdom in your life. Now, back to what I was teaching you. The fifth principle is about time. Most people treat time wrong when it comes to prosperity. They want instant results. They apply a spiritual practice for 3 days, see no money appear in their account, and quit. Or worse, they see a small improvement and immediately stop doing what was working. In Hebrew, we have a concept called savlanut. It means patience rooted in certainty, not passive waiting. Active, expectant patience. You know the seed is growing underground even though you can't see it yet. The number 40 appears throughout Jewish scripture for a reason. 40 days, 40 years. It represents a complete cycle of transformation, not 7 days, not 21 days. 40 days is the minimum time required for deep spiritual change to manifest in physical reality. I'm going to teach you a complete 40-day protocol at the end of this message, and I need you to commit to all 40 days. Not 39, not 35, 40, because most people quit on day 32, right before the breakthrough. Let me tell you about a woman named Fernanda. She was a teacher in Curitiba. She had been earning 3,200 reais a month for 6 years, same salary, no raises, no opportunities for promotion. She felt stuck. She started the 40-day prosperity protocol I'm about to teach you. For the first 3 weeks, nothing changed. Same salary, same routine, same financial pressure. On day 28, she almost quit. She thought, this isn't working. I'm wasting my time. But something told her to finish what she started. On day 34, a former colleague contacted her completely out of nowhere. The colleague had started a private tutoring company and needed experienced teachers. She offered Fernanda a contract to teach online courses 2 hours a day for 2,800 reais a month. Fernanda's income went from 3,200 to 6,000 reais for the exact same amount of work hours. But it didn't happen on day 3. It didn't happen on day 7. It happened on day 34 after she had already proven her commitment through consistent practice, even when she saw no results. This is savlanut. This is how spiritual law works. The breakthrough comes after the test of faith. Now, the sixth principle. This one makes some people uncomfortable, but it's absolutely essential. In Jewish law, we have a practice called tzedakah. It's usually translated as charity, but that's not accurate. Tzedakah means justice, righteousness. It's not optional generosity. It's a spiritual obligation. The law is simple. 10% of what comes in must go back out. Not when you have extra. Not when you feel generous. 10% of every single real that enters your hands. Most people think backwards. They think, when I have more money, then I'll donate. When I'm rich, then I'll help others. But the spiritual law works in reverse. You give first, then the flow increases. Why? Because money is energy. Energy must circulate. When you hoard it, when you grip it with fear, the flow stops. But when you release it with faith, with the understanding that there is always more coming, the universe sees that you know how to handle prosperity, and it sends you more. I know someone is thinking right now, Rabbi, I barely have enough for myself. How can I give away 10%? And my answer is, that exact mindset is why you barely have enough. You are operating from scarcity consciousness. You believe there is not enough, so the universe gives you the experience of not enough. Start with 5% if 10 feels impossible. Give something. Give it consistently. Give it with joy, not with resentment. And watch what happens. I'm not talking about giving to just anyone. Give strategically. Give to people who are genuinely in need. Give to causes that align with your values. Give to your spiritual community. Give where you see real impact. But give. A friend of mine, a Catholic man named Andre, started this practice 2 years ago. He was unemployed. He was living on unemployment benefits of 1,100 reais a month. When I told him to give 10%, he thought I was insane. But he did it. Every month, he gave 110 reais to a local shelter that fed homeless people. Within 5 weeks, he got a job offer. Within 3 months, he was earning 4,200 reais. Within 1 year, he opened his own small consulting business. He still gives 10%. Now it's a much larger amount. But he never stops, because he understands the law. Circulation creates increase. Generosity creates overflow. This is not karma. This is not the law of attraction as most people teach it. This is ancient Jewish wisdom about how energy and matter interact. When you demonstrate to the universe that you trust the flow increases to match your faith. Part 3. Now I'm going to give you the complete protocol. This is what I want you to commit to for the next 40 days, not 39, not when you feel like it. 40 consecutive days. If you break the sequence, you start over from day 1. Are you ready? Get something to write with. This is important. Step 1. The moment you open your eyes in the morning, before your feet touch the floor, before you check your phone, before you think about your problems, you speak words of gratitude out loud. You say, I give thanks for this new day. I give thanks for the breath in my lungs. I give thanks for opportunities that are seeking me today. I give thanks for money that is flowing toward me from expected and unexpected sources. I am a magnet for blessings. 30 seconds. That's all this takes, but those 30 seconds set your frequency for the entire day. Step 2. You buy a new notebook. Not an old one with pages torn out. A fresh notebook that you designate specifically for prosperity. On the first page, you write a clear, specific financial declaration. Not, I want to be rich. Not, I hope for more money. You write, buy, and you put a date exactly 40 days from today. I am receiving, and you put a specific amount, from, and you name the source if you know it, or you write known and unknown sources if you don't. Every single day, you write in this notebook one action you took that day to create value. One thing you did to help someone, one way you served, one skill you used, one connection you made, even if it seems small. You document your value creation. Why? Because prosperity is not about taking. It's about creating and giving value. The more you become aware of the value you create, the more opportunities appear to increase that value. Step 3. You monitor your words about money. Every time you catch yourself saying, I'm broke, I can't afford it, or money is hard, you immediately stop. You take a breath, and you replace it with truth. I am building wealth. I choose to invest differently right now. Money flows to me easily. This will feel awkward at first. You will feel like you're lying, but you are not lying. You are speaking your future reality into existence. You are shifting frequency through language. Step 4. Once a day, preferably in the evening, you spend 10 minutes in focused visualization. But this is not daydreaming. This is structured emotional visualization. You close your eyes, you see yourself checking your bank account and seeing the specific amount you declared in your notebook. You don't just see the number. You feel the relief in your chest. You feel the gratitude in your throat. You feel the peace in your stomach. You let those emotions fill your entire body. Then you see yourself using that money wisely, paying a bill without anxiety, buying something you need without guilt, helping someone you care about, saving for your future, giving your 10% with joy. The emotion is what creates the magnetic pull. Visualization without emotion is just fantasy. Visualization with emotion is manifestation. Step 5. Before you go to sleep, you speak a prayer of protection over your finances. You say, I seal my prosperity with divine protection. No envy can touch what God has blessed. No negativity can block what is already mine. I sleep in peace knowing that my financial increase is secured by the Creator of all abundance. This protects you from Ayanhara, from the negative energy of people who resent your progress, from the doubt and fear in your own mind. Step 6. Once a week, on the same day every week, you perform a ritual of dedication. Light a candle, any candle. As you light it, you speak over your hands. These hands are blessed. These hands create value. These hands attract prosperity. Everything I touch becomes a source of increase. You hold your hands up in the light of the candle for 30 seconds, feeling the warmth, accepting the blessing. Then you blow out the candle and go about your day. This weekly ritual keeps your spiritual alignment strong. It reminds you that your work is sacred, that your effort matters, that you are partnered with divine abundance. Step 7. Once a week, you give 10% if possible, 5% if that's where you need to start, but something, and you give it with this declaration: what I release comes back to me multiplied. I trust the circulation of abundance. I am a channel, not a dam. You don't give hoping for something in return. You give because you understand the law. What you circulate increases. What you hoard decreases. These 7 steps, 40 days, no exceptions, no breaks, no, I'll start next week, you start tomorrow morning. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Rabbi, I'm not Jewish. Will this still work for me? Let me tell you something. Spiritual law is universal. Gravity works whether you're Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, or atheist. You don't have to believe in gravity for it to affect you. It's law. The same is true for prosperity principles. These are not religious rituals that only work for Jews. These are spiritual laws that govern how energy and matter interact in this universe. They work for anyone who applies them correctly. I've taught this protocol to Catholics, evangelicals, spiritists, people with no religion at all. And when they commit to the full 40 days, they see results. Not because of me, not because of their faith tradition, because they aligned themselves with spiritual law. But here's what I need you to understand. Knowledge without action is completely useless. You can watch this video, feel inspired, think that's interesting, and do nothing, and your life will not change one bit. Or you can make a different choice right now. You can decide that your financial struggle ends today, not when the economy improves, not when you get a better job, not when conditions are perfect, today, because you are going to start operating according to a higher law than economic circumstances. The choice is yours. It has always been yours. Your prosperity is not waiting for permission from the government, from your boss, from your family, from the universe. It's waiting for you to align your frequency, discipline your words, focus your intention, and take consistent action. 40 days from now, you can either be exactly where you are right now, complaining about the same problems, struggling with the same bills, feeling the same anxiety, or you can be standing in a completely different financial reality because you had the courage to commit to this protocol and follow it to completion. Which version of yourself do you want to be? If you need prayer, if you want me to lift your name before God and ask for blessings over your finances, leave your first name in the comments right now. I pray over every name. I ask the Creator to open doors for you that no one can shut, to give you wisdom in your decisions, to multiply the work of your hands, to protect you from negativity and envy, to establish you in abundance. Let me pray for you. Drop your name below. And if this teaching has given you hope, if you're seeing things differently now, if you understand spiritual laws you never knew before, then subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to keep bringing you this kind of powerful, practical wisdom every single week. Ancient secrets that actually work in your real life, not theory, not motivation, real tools for real transformation. Click subscribe, turn on notifications, stay connected to this community. I'm going to leave you with one final thought. In Jewish tradition, we have a saying, a person's livelihood is as difficult as the splitting of the Red Sea. What does that mean? It means that bringing prosperity into your life requires the same divine intervention that split an ocean. It's a miracle, but here's the part most people miss. The Red Sea didn't split until Moses raised his staff and the people started walking. The miracle required action. Faith required movement. God is ready to split your financial Red Sea. The abundance is ready to flow. The opportunities are ready to appear. But you have to raise your staff. You have to start walking. You have to commit to these 40 days with everything you have. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until it makes complete sense to your logical mind. Start tomorrow morning, the moment your eyes open, before doubt can creep in, before fear can paralyze you, before another day of the same old pattern begins. Speak those words of gratitude, open that new notebook, set your intention, and watch what the Creator of the universe does with your obedience. Your prosperity is not coming. It's already here. You just need to tune your frequency to receive it. Next week, I'm going to teach you advanced protection prayers that shield your business and income from spiritual attacks. You're going to learn how Jewish merchants throughout history protected their wealth even when surrounded by enemies. These are secrets that most people never discover. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. May the Creator of all abundance bless the work of your hands. May every door you approach open easily. May every seed you plant produce a harvest beyond what you can imagine. May you never lack for anything good. May your family prosper. May your name be remembered as someone who walked in divine favor. And so it is. Shalom, my friend. Until next time.